Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Skullman 12291, and in the last episode I just taught you guys the basics of the pause screen. That's pretty much it, you know. It was a simple episode. I just want to kind of take it a bit slow so you guys, you know, don't fall far behind and say, wait a minute, what's going on? I don't get it. How is he doing this? You know, I just decided episode 1, keep it simple, watch the opening cinematic, introduce you to the pause screen. That was it. But in this episode, we are going to go out and hunt some bad guys to fight down. Alright, so there is a world map in this game, but you don't really use it that often. The world map just essentially takes you from one point to another, and then you're already in that area, and then you just have to advance further into that area to go and then move on to the next area, so on and so forth. But anytime whenever you're in an area like this, and if you see, you know, a box or anything, just press A, and you'll find, in this case, a blizzard charm. Now, you're probably thinking, what does a blizzard charm do? Well, if you go to your items, and if you go to accessories, you can see that a blizzard charm covers the resistance of blizzard attacks. No, I don't mean like Diablo or Warcraft or Starcraft attacks. Not that kind of blizzard. I mean, like, you know, again, I keep going back to Final Fantasy because it's a game that everyone has played at least once. Doesn't matter which Final Fantasy, they're all pretty much the same. So when I say blizzard, I mean like the blizzard attacks in Final Fantasy. So like Blizzard, Blizzara, Blizzaga, those types of attacks. You know, attacks that do ice damage, essentially. If you equip this on any of your characters, they will have a pretty high resistance to blizzard attacks, which is good. But even though that's good, I don't personally like equipping it. That's just me. You can do whatever you like. But to show you how to equip it, when you have an item like that, you go over to your equip. We got Ryudo here, so we'll select him. And you go down to where it is subcategorized, so it is an accessory. So once you get down to the right area, Ryudo already has a leather brace equipped, so if we press A, we can see that we can choose to equip the blizzard charm. Now, what that will do is it'll drop her defense down by 4, but it will grant us a level 5 resistance to all sorts of blizzard attacks. You can equip this if you like, but personally I'm not. I'm not a big fan of these charms. That's just me. So I'm not going to equip it. And now we're back out to the area here. Alright. So this is pretty much the game as of now. And here we go. We got an enemy here. Now there are a few ways you can confront an enemy. Oh, he saw me. Oh crud. Oh crud. Oh crud. Okay. So you can see that there are a few different ways to attack an enemy. You can either A, do what I did and run into an enemy head on. Now, what that will do is you'll go into the battle like normal. Like you'll be facing your enemy. But if you go into battle with the enemy's back towards you, and if you confront them, you'll get a huge advantage. But if the enemy does the same to you, if you have your back to them, then they'll get an advantage. But I'll show you guys those different stuff later. So this is the battle screen. As you can see at the bottom here, the bottom right corner, you have what is called the IP gauge. I don't remember what IP stands for, but essentially it shows you all of the people who are part of this battle. So it's you and any team members against any monsters that you're facing against. And you are always at the bottom of the gauge. Your enemies are always at the top of the gauge. When anyone reaches that middle bar, or that M at the word calm, which stands for command, once anyone reaches that bar there, time freezes, and then that character can do a number of things. So since Ryudo is at that bar, I can choose to do a number of things. I can either choose to do a combo attack, which is just a regular two-hit attack against this enemy here. This is a mottled spider, I guess. Alright. We can do a critical hit, which does only one hit, but it does have its advantages over a regular combo attack. You have items, which we have our different categories. Recovery items. You can choose to change some equipment, or current equipment, or if we had any attack items, they'd be shown here as well, but we don't have any. You can use moves / magic attacks. Again, Ryudo doesn't have any magic, so he can only use the special move, the 10-second slash. And you see the number beside this attack. It says 24. Well, you have to look and see that it's going to cost Ryudo 24 SP points, or special points. And he has a maximum, and he has currently 24 special points, or he has 78, I'm sorry, he has 78 special points, and if you choose to use this attack, that number, that 78, will drop down to 54. And it keeps going down until you can either recover at a save point, or you do regular attacks against enemies. If you do regular attacks, that also recovers your special points as well, but very little. At the bottom side, we can either defend against attacks, we can evade, so we can go, for instance, we can go from where we're standing to over there, there, if we want, but it's not needed at this point in the battle. You can choose to have the characters attack as AI, so that they attack by themselves and we don't have to do anything. Again, I don't like doing that. And we can choose to escape. But I'm not a coward. I'm not going to escape. Instead, I'm going to go for a critical. Now, I kind of went into a little bit of detail before, but critical attacks can be effective against other enemies. Because once you select a command, your character bar will continue to move towards that act or action. Once it hits that line, your character or the enemy will attack. And if you have chosen to do a critical attack against an enemy, and if they are anywhere in between the command bar and the action bar, and if you hit them before they attack, then that will cancel. Then their attack will be cancelled, and they won't be able to get their attack off at all. So I'm pretty sure this is gonna work. So let's try this. You can see right there, it said cancel, and the enemy bar moved back. So the enemy icon moved further back because we canceled his attack. He wasn't able to get his attack off because we canceled it with a critical attack. And that is a good strategy. You should try to use that a couple of times. So I can show you a combo attack right now in hopes of, you know, beating this guy. So let's see that. And if you're fast enough,
These guys were no real challenge.
alright. And if you're fast enough, you can actually counter their attack and get your attack in before they do. And that is the end of that battle here. So, you know, this is the results screen. You can see that you gain some experience points, any special coins and magic coins, and some gold. And any possible items that some enemies may drop. But this one didn't drop any, so that's all we get. And they all get added to everything that we have. So Ryudo gained, what was it, 8 experience points? Yeah. So the next level he needs another 128 experience points. We got 15 special coins from the battle, so that value went up from 100 to 115, and so on and so forth. And you should try to battle as often as you can. The more battles you participate in, the more coins you will get to upgrade your special attacks and your magic. And no, that's pretty much it for battle. That's how a typical battle works in this game. We can see we have another chest here, and there's a spider hiding off right there. Alright, so we got a wound salve, hand grenade, which is an attack item, and another Yomi's elixir. I'm gonna go back off over here. I'm gonna try and see if I can get a preemptive strike against this guy. It's gonna be a little hard. Just need to kind of up. If they flash red, but if you get behind them, it doesn't count as a preemptive strike. And how the preemptive strike would look is that the enemy icon would be pushed even further back. They wouldn't be that close to you. They'll be maybe around that thin white line there, maybe, depending on how many enemies you're going up against. Oh, and I completely forgot to talk about the top left and the bottom left corners of the screen. Top left corner of the screen shows the portrait of the characters that you have. So, you know, this is Ryudo. He's got 454 health, which is represented by the red bar and the number. He also has a blue bar and a green bar. The blue bar is his magic point bar, which will decrease the more times he uses magical attacks. And the green bar is his special points bar, which will decrease anytime he uses a special attack. And the bottom left corner is just all that in more detail. And you can see when I choose like a combo attack, for instance, you can see that it changes to whatever enemy you're targeting. So we get the name of the enemy, the amount of health they have, and the action can be a number of things. It could say, okay, in this case, the enemy's action is a web trap, which is one of its special attacks. But sometimes it'll say something like just regular attack, for instance. But no, I'm not gonna let it attack. In fact, I'm gonna show you guys the 10-second slash right now. When you have it, when you have a move selected, on the left side you can read that says it's an upwards. It just gives you a brief description of what the attack does, and you can read that it says it has a cancel effect. Now, what the cancel effect means, it's the same way as when I used that critical attack on the last enemy. It cancelled their attack. So I'm just gonna do it here so I can show you guys, because I'm sure it'll be the same thing. Yeah. You can see the enemies kind of has like a purple glow.
Tensei can slash.
All right. So you can see that. All right, so you can see that the enemy was going to use that web trap attack, and it had purple spikes growing towards it. That generally tells you that it's going to use one of its special attacks. And when you're going to use one, you have yellow spikes going towards you, meaning that you're going to be using a special attack. So, that's pretty much it. And if you noticed at the top left corner of the screen, the green bar decreased a little bit. And I'm going to show you guys once I get into another battle. There should be a third one at least. Should be at least a third one around here. No, I don't want to go to the village already. Ugh. Oh, and by the way, that thing in the top right hand corner is the compass. It basically points out, it can have many different locations for you to choose from, but in this case it only points in one direction, which is the way out. Which, when I pressed the button, it shows that it's only facing toward, it's only facing forwards, which is the way out. It can point in many different other areas, and it can point in different areas as well, if there are different ways to get out or different places to go to. Like in a town, for instance. In a town, you can go back out from the town. You can go into a general store. You can go into an inn. A couple of things like that. But I don't want to do that yet. So you can actually see on the pause screen that Ryudo's special points says 54, as opposed to when I go to status, it says 54 out of 78. So next time I'm in battle, you'll see that green bar is a bit small, is not reaching the whole point. And to regain all that, you can either again use regular attacks against enemies, or you can go to a save point and press recover. And you can see Ryudo's special points are now at 78, which is awesome. So I'm going to save again here, and this is the end of the episode. I know, I'm sorry guys. I thought I would get through this a bit faster, but apparently not. But, there's always next episode. So, until that time, this is Skullman 012291, out.